Welcome in, college football fans. We are live for you on this Friday night for Between the Lines. It is the eve of week 8 of college football, and we have got our best bets of the week for you. That is what the show is all about. This is Between the Lines. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your co-host, Marcus. There's your other co-host, Mason. Mason, how are you today, buddy?
Man, ready to kick this thing off. Take two, right? We had some technical
The
difficulties.
train tried to take off without all of you.
We've been placing bets, folks, for like 5 minutes and realized we weren't even live. So that's just
You
some amateur mistakes there. But we're ready to roll now, and we've rehearsed some of our picks now, so they should be even better.
Look, we forgot to hit the go live button, so the train left the station without anybody riding. Okay, and so we had to turn around and come back and get you folks. But we are so glad that you are here. I hope that if you're not subscribed, I hope you'll go ahead and do that, and go ahead and give us a thumbs up on the video if you would. That would be greatly appreciated. Every Friday night, we're going to be doing our Between the Lines segment here on the First and Long College Football Channel. And this is a betting show. So what we're doing is we're giving our best bets against the spread. It may not be a key matchup of the week, but this is about getting in a bet where we see deficiencies in the numbers that Vegas has put out as we've looked throughout the week. You can go back on the channel and look at all our key matchups from that we broke down earlier in the week. I have to say, as the week goes on, my mind does change because I've got a couple of picks that I would not have picked earlier in the week, and that's why we started doing this again on Friday nights. So, Mason, without further ado, let's not waste any more time. I got grease board behind me. I'm going to write these down as we go. Uh, what's your first best bet of the week for Between the Lines here on this lovely Friday night?
Well, I guess we ought to just go ahead and start with the noon kickoff, the big game of the week that everybody's looking forward to. Guys, you got Penn State at Ohio State, right? One heck of a game. We've already broken this game down. If you missed the preview show, go back and watch that. We've clipped this up, so I think that clip ran about 15 minutes. So it's a good little watch there if you want to see Mark and I break down that game and how we think it's going to go. But I've got 3 picks on this game, Mark. So I'm going to start with Penn State at plus 4.5. Everybody who watches this show knows that I'm high on Penn State this year. I think that they're able to get it done this week. So give me plus 4.5. Give me the under 45.5 on the total. And then also, I'm just going to take Penn State. You know, I'm going to go all in, push the chips to the center of the table, take Penn State to win the game at plus 170. And that's pretty much just how I want to start off, you know, and part of this is me looking at Penn State saying that this is really the best defense in the league to this point. Now, I recognize that Penn State and Michigan both have had like 2 of the easiest schedules in the Power 5, but I like what Penn State, since we're talking about Penn State, I like what Penn State's been able to do against those lesser opponents. You know, they statistically have the number 1 defense in the country, and you know they've paired that with an offense that has stumbled and stuttered at times, but Drew Aller is starting to put together. He's had 2 really good weeks in a row, and you know they're not really asking him to do a whole lot. To me, I think that this game is really going to come down to turnovers, and Drew Aller, to this point, knock on wood, he doesn't have a single interception yet. He's 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the season. I think that this Penn State defense comes away with a couple of turnovers, whether that be fumble or interceptions. And I think that that's going to be what decides this game in the end. So ultimately, I think that Penn State wins that, and I think they win this game because of it. It's going to be a close game, but I think that Penn State's able to pull this one out on the road.
Wow. Okay. Well, that will lead me to my pick that I've kind of reverse course on. So we're gonna fight on this one a little bit. I'm gonna take Ohio State in the 4.5, and the more I've looked into this, and the more I've looked at people's models and things like that, um, it looks like a Ohio State cover to me. I really wanted to pick Penn State. My mind really wanted me to go with them, but the more I look at it, I think and you said that you're playing the under, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and what is that at?
45.5.
45. I didn't write it down. I'll write it down here in a second. I do think that's gonna come into play. So I think that's definitely a good bet. Um, I was thinking the over earlier in the week, and this Penn State offense, it just doesn't seem geared for
Yeah.
going down the field and scoring a bunch of points. And on the other hand of that, I think Penn State's got a great defense. So I think, and I think Ohio State does too. So the under makes a lot of sense to me. But I'm going to take Ohio State to cover on this one. I think that there's just a lot of playmakers, and I don't know that Penn State's going to be explosive enough to exploit Ohio State um, this go round. Now, Penn State has been really, really good against the spread. I told you I did some research on this week. They're 12-0-1 in their last 13 games against the spread. Um, and they're really the only team that's anywhere close to that. So they have been beating the spread every single week, and I'm feeling like that is baked into this total. And I feel like it might be an over adjustment whenever they're about to play what I think is a really good Ohio State defense. So I'm going to stick with Ohio State -4.5 on that. What you got next? You got a few
So,
picks than me, so you go ahead um,
yeah.
and I'll kind of piggyback off of yours until
Yep,
we
that's
get.
fine. So sticking with the noon slate of games, I'm going to take Central Florida at plus 17.5 against Oklahoma. Um, John Rice Plumley is supposed to be back for this game. He's been battling, I believe it was an ankle injury, but he's coming back from injury now, and I think that this is kind of like news, so if he's able to play in this game, I think it's a good play. If for some reason it's the coaches, kind of Gus Malzahn kind of fakes us out here, then you could be in trouble with that 17.5 point spread. But I think with John Rice Plumlee, this offense is just able to score a lot more points, and so if he's playing, I think that there's a good chance that they're able to keep it close in a game that look, Central Florida hasn't been that great this year, so I don't think Oklahoma is really circling this game on the schedule. Maybe they catch them, in their second week of a bye. They had a bye week last week. Maybe they're trying to still kind of rest players and heal up and things like that. Maybe it's a little bit closer than 17.5 points. So give me Central Florida at 17.5 plus 17.5.
+17. I'll write that down here in just a second. Um, that's I really do. I am interested in that game. I want to check that out. Um, I got a feeling that one could be a back and a forth type of situation. Um, I'm going to go to the one of the 3:30 games. I'm going to take Bama -9, and the more and more I've looked at this, Tennessee was really lucky to get away with that win last week, and I just don't see them having the horses to get this one done. And as crazy as it sounds, Alabama's just a little bit better throwing the football right now. You know, uh, and that's like I said, that's crazy to say, considering that they both have been really bad this year, and Tennessee was so good at throwing the football last year. But both of them are really bad. I just think this is lesser of two evil situation. I think it sets up for Bama pretty favorably at home. Um, and you definitely wouldn't think that this one's not getting the attention of Alabama after taking that L in Knoxville last year. So I'm looking for Alabama to be ready to go and be ready to keep fighting for an SEC West division championship. So give me Bama -9 is what I just saw. Uh, as most of the models are seeing Bama win this one by 10 or 11. So
Yeah.
give me Bama, and the money has been flooding in on Tennessee here all of a sudden the
Yeah.
last couple days. So I'm going to fade the public on that, and I'm going to go Bama.
Yeah, it's that one's been very back and forth because
Yeah,
during the Tuesday show, this was at, Alabama was a 9.5 point favorite. And then yesterday I checked and it was down to 8.5 points. And now it's middled back at 9. So you can see people are betting each side of this, which I understand why. I'm going to stay away from the point spread, and I'm going to go under 47.5 in this game, mainly because look, this is two top 15 defenses in the country, two of the best defenses in the SEC, and two offenses that haven't done much. That they don't produce a whole lot of points. So at 47.5, I feel like that's a bit of a steal. I really think that you could get this at. I feel like this could be a 20 to 23 type of game, or maybe even Bama holds Tennessee down to like 10 points or something like that, and it's 20-10, and Bama ends up covering. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. If Bama is able to hit the deep shots, obviously they could go over, but I like the 47.5 here. And I like the under. While you're finishing that up, Mark, I'll go ahead and go into my next pick. So
All right, go for it.
I've got Oklahoma State at +3, and let's see, that's against West Virginia, at West Virginia. Oklahoma State is a team that started the season off pretty bad. I think it was week 2, they had a really tough loss, but since then they've kind of picked up some steam, got a good win last week. I think they kind of carry that momentum into a West Virginia team that's also been pretty good, but has lost recently. So maybe, these two teams are kind of going separate ways right now. And I think that the momentum is in Oklahoma State's favor. I think that they're going to be able to win this game. And that's why, I like the +3. I mean, I think they can at least keep it within a field goal. This should be a really good game, though, either way, no matter who wins.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm gonna make a kind of like a you pick right now, but I got 2 plays on this game right here, and this is a fade the public, fade the perception type of thing here. Miami and Clemson. I'm taking under 48 and a half, and I'm taking Miami +3.
Okay.
I'm taking the under
I
48
like
and a
it.
half because I think Clemson is a very mediocre offense. I don't think they're very good at all. And I think that Miami looks really bad right now. I think perception is pretty bad. Miami, obviously, one of the worst losses we've ever seen in college football history a couple weeks ago against Georgia Tech. And then, last week they get like 500-600 yards put on them by North Carolina. But that was given to North Carolina through a 4-0 turnover margin there in that game. And I don't see Miami coming out and making those mistakes this week. I'm not as worried. I feel like they're going to be more ready to go because Miami still actually does have a dark shot chance in the ACC. They're not statistically ruled out of the ACC running.
Right.
So I think that Miami will be ready to go at home for a Clemson team that I don't think they'll have any problem getting fired up to play against. So give me Miami +3, and then give me Miami Clemson under 48.5. 2 separate plays there.
I like it. I don't have anything on that game. I'm just not sure what to expect anymore out of Clemson. Miami's sliding. Hopefully they're able to kind of keep their heads on straight, and just play football, because they do have a pretty good team. But I also think that Clemson has a pretty good team. When you get down to it, I think they're still just figuring a lot of stuff out. So to me, that was a stay away game. But I like kind of the play that you're on, and the side that you're on with that. For my next play, I've got Illinois and Wisconsin under 40.5. These are two pretty good defenses for the Big Ten, and two offenses that have struggled. So I feel pretty confident in this. I wish the number was a bit higher. I'd like it around 45 or so, but I still feel like this game could be decided in the teens. This could be a 40.5 for Illinois and Wisconsin. So I'm picking the under in that. I think this is a this could be like a 17-13 type game even. But I feel pretty good about this number, or this game being decided in, the low 20s at least. So,
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll take you to my next one here. Um, and some of these, man, this was kind of one of the harder weeks I felt like, but
yeah, it
um,
was.
I like UCLA and Stanford under 54. I think UCLA's got a good defense. I think Stanford is the beneficiary of a really bad defense in the second half. Obviously, last week from Colorado, I don't think the wide receiver I can't pronounce his name, um, but he was like 290 something yards receiving last week. And as I read off on the reaction show, he had not done that in any game at all this year.
Yeah,
I don't foresee that happening again. Um, Give me UCLA Stanford under 54 on that.
interesting play. Okay.
Not to mention UCLA is not they can't score a lot of points, man.
Yeah, UCLA has struggled to score for sure. Um, all right, so my next play is going to be Oregon at -20. And they've got Washington State this week. It's going to be a home game for Oregon. Washington State just came off a really bad offensive performance. And I'm wondering how much confidence they have going into this game. Their defense has been really, really bad, really, all season. So to me, when I look at Oregon's offense and how they match up with Washington State's defense, I mean, Oregon, they might put up 60. They might go over the total themselves. The total set at 61.
Yeah.
Coming off a loss last week, they're trying to get back into the conversation, so they may go over 61. Just on Oregon side of the football alone. I'm not going to bet the total though. I think I'm pretty confident that Oregon's going to win this game by 20 points at least. And I think that Oregon's defense is going to be strong enough to hold Washington State's offense, and maybe force some turnovers and things like that. So I feel pretty good about this one. Give me Oregon -20.
Oregon -20. Um, my last one before the money line pick. I don't have a lot of picks this week because there was some other ones that I had. And I'm just like, man, that's just not a best. I just can't. That's just not a best bet for me. I don't know. But I like Auburn Ole Miss under 55 and a half. I told you earlier in the week that I like Auburn in this game. I'm maybe not necessarily to win. I feel like Auburn can definitely cover, and I think there is a path for them to win this game. Excuse me, I really do. Ole Miss will be on the road at Auburn. We all know what those environments can be like. Um, I just I think this is a bad timing for Ole Miss in this one. And all the Ole Miss fans will boo me on that as they have been this week in the comment section, saying I'm a Mississippi State fan. Obviously, um, yeah, I'm a huge Mississippi State fan. But anyway, give me the under 55 and a half. If all those thoughts are going to come true, I think this is where it all starts. Auburn's got to play some good defense, obviously.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that play. I've got that one as well.
Okay, nice
So
agreement.
we are in agreement on that one, sir.
Nice. What else you
All right, so let's see. I'm gonna go to South Carolina at Missouri, and I'm gonna play the over 58. Look, both of these offenses have been pretty dang good this year. A surprise, really, for both of them, in how good they've played, and I think that trend continues. I don't think that, obviously South Carolina's defense has been pretty bad all season long. Missouri has made some stops here and there, but against good offenses like LSU, I mean, it was just a back and forth game. They were both wide open. I think it's going to be a similar type of game as it was against LSU for Missouri. I think Missouri is able to win this game, but I like the over 58 points. I think this game's it's going to be in the 30s and 40s, in my opinion.
All right, keep going. What else you got?
All right. Let's see. We got Auburn. So, you mentioned no, I'm sorry. That was Clemson and Miami. So I've got North Carolina at minus 23.5 this week. Let me see. I forgot who they were playing. So that was somewhere on here.
North Carolina. I'm trying to think of who they had. Oh, I got it pulled up right here.
I think I had them on the wrong time, and now I'm not able to find them.
Oh, gotcha. Virginia.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's 6:35.
yeah. Virginia's pretty dang bad, folks.
They're bad.
They're really bad. 23.5 points. I think it's just not enough. This North Carolina team is humming. Everybody knows that they've got Tez Walker. Drake May is starting to cook a little bit. Their chemistry is picking up. And did you know, Mark, that Tez wasn't even practicing when he wasn't eligible? He wasn't even able to practice. Yes.
Oh wow. I
So
had no idea.
the fact that they've picked up chemistry so well, I say that he was practicing on the scout team, I believe. So I know I saw an interview with Mac Brown where
He just wasn't going with the ones.
right. So the fact that him and Drake May have the chemistry that they have in 2 weeks, I mean, is pretty remarkable. He got told like the Friday morning before, their game 2 weeks ago that he could play, and immediately like Mac Brown got him out of class, started having him and Drake May throw the football together. And I mean, it was just like, they had to click immediately. And then obviously all that first week, of full practice for him. They did something to create this chemistry because he had 3 touchdowns last week. So anyways, all that to say, give me North Carolina minus 23.5 over Virginia. I feel really good about that play.
Nice. What else you got, man? Are we down to money lines?
Nope. I already gave you my money line for the week, but I've got Florida State and Duke under 49.5. And I also, I kind of don't want to put this on the show, but I did bet early in the week, at Duke plus 14. That number has actually moved up to 14.5. So if you like Duke in the points, you could go get it for them not to get blown out by 2 touchdowns. I don't like that play as much as I like the under 49.5. I'm starting to think that Florida State may just have a little bit more juice. They have played pretty well the past couple of weeks, and I'm thinking that they may be able to kind of run away with this one, and it might be a 3-score game. So I don't feel as confident in that one, folks. I wouldn't say to bet it one way or another, honestly, but I do like the under in this play because, I mean, Duke doesn't score a whole lot, especially without Riley Leonard. And they're very stingy on defense, and they don't give up many points. So I think 49.5. I could see Duke, honestly, I could see Duke scoring like 10 to 17 points, and giving up like, 30 or something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that game.
Yep. I like that play a lot. I've seriously considered playing that one, but just couldn't pull the trigger on it with the whole Riley Leonard thing. I just don't know what's going to happen here. I want to see a little closer to game time. What else you got, man?
That's it. That's all I got for this week. I think that one that I am going to add though is Oklahoma State. Give me Oklahoma State on the money line.
Okay, State money line, huh?
Yeah. So that's for me. That's Penn State on the money line and Oklahoma State on the money line. Nothing too big this week. I usually like to have one big one for y'all. I would say if you want something that you could feel pretty good about, and that's kind of a big play, would be Auburn. To go ahead and take Auburn in the money line. It's a home game for Auburn on the Plains. Crazy things can happen there. Look for some turnovers, some goofy moments. It's Hugh Freeze's return. He's kind of risen from the dead and returned to face his old team in a way, and so there's some storylines there that could
Yeah.
we just know college football and how weird this stuff gets sometimes, and I feel like this is going to be one of those weird games. Like I feel like it should be played on Friday the 13th or something like that. Like it's just a weird one. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm expecting out of that. But what else you got, man? Are we on your money lines now?
All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do exactly what you just said. Is I'm gonna take Auburn on the money line as my money
Okay.
line pick of the week. Um, I can't. I'm thinking it was plus 200 is what I saw. Yeah, plus 200 on that. So, pretty good return on that. I think, but without it telling you that it's absolutely impossible.
Right.
Um, you know, that lets me know that Vegas is thinking the same thing I am. That there is a chance here for sure. And if Auburn can get a turnover or two, then it's going to be trouble, and they'll definitely cover at home in front of a raucous environment. But thank you all so much for watching tonight. That's going to do it for our Between the Lines show. We like to keep these short on Friday. Everybody's got stuff going on. We just want to get you our best bets. I'm going to take a picture of this so we can keep tally of how we do this week. I hope everybody will give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the video if you're watching this live or on replay. Thank you so much for doing so. And we will be back either Sunday or Monday. We'll have to talk about that, but it'll be scheduled out for our reaction show. So we'll be able to bring you all of our reactions from week 8. And we hope that you will join us for that and join us next week as we dive into week 9 and re-rank the top 25. Thank you all so much. And I hope that you all have a great weekend and a happy college football Saturday.
Thanks. Have a good night.